have a bell. I have a virtual bell that is ringing now. So I'd like to begin the meeting and turn it over to Mr. Hank Lopez for the pledge and the four-way test.
Okay, hopefully you can hear me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The four-way test of the things we think, say, and do. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Thank you, Hank. And I also want to thank Marty Evans for covering me last week. I'm no longer on West 44th Street. I did not see Robert De Niro, but I did see boxes and boxes of tapes and scripts and artifacts that were being moved out of the building behind me last week at the Actors Studio. So I did see a box of Robert De Niro's memorabilia or whatever was in there, but I did not see him personally. So maybe next time. Now I'd like to welcome everybody here to Boulder Rotary. This is the best place to be on a Friday. I'm hoping that this is the last time that we have to do this virtually, at least completely virtually. We still do want to continue forward with a multi-access membership level and have people come to Zoom meetings from across the globe and even across the county. But hopefully this will be the last one that we're not back in person. So with that, I'd like to turn it to Vanessa and have her introduce the visitors and guests.
Hi, everybody. I would like to say welcome to all our guests today. And as I call on you, if you would just like to unmute yourselves and say a few words. So firstly, I would like to welcome Lori Preston. And if you would like to say a few words, Lori, thank you.
Sure, thank you so much. It's wonderful to see faces instead of just hearing Rotarians. So I'm Lori Preston. I am the Executive Director of the Museum of Boulder. And I've had that opportunity since August of 2019 and was in that position for about 5 months before we went into temporary closure. So you can imagine that kind of start. I'm grateful for it. I'm grateful that the museum is still standing and that we've got a very, very creative and active staff. And I am also grateful to Gary Kahn and to Hans, both of which have been really instrumental in inviting me to come to the meetings. Thank you for that. I got to meet them and move through the Infinity Walk of Peace downtown Boulder recently, which was a really big treat. And something I'd not been exposed to before. So it's good to see familiar faces and many of you are connected to the museum already. So hi to Jancy and really, really good to see you. Thanks for including me.
Well, and thank you for, you're going to be becoming our newest member of Boulder Rotary Club. So we welcome you to the club also.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So we also have Todd Breton. If you would like to unmute yourself and say a few words, that'd be great.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Todd Breton. I am the immediate past president of the Sugarland Rotary here in just outside of Houston, Texas. And I'm the current, one of the current assistant governors for our district. I've been in Rotary about 5 years and I'm having so much fun. Dominica actually and I have connected all around the world through online meetings, which is the only opportunity that I think I'll ever have to visit clubs without spending a lot of money flying everywhere. So, but I did challenge myself as president last year from when I became president until the end of the year is to visit one club in every state before the end of the year, which I did. And then I have visited, I think I'm up to 23 countries. Just an awesome opportunity to learn all about Rotary. So thanks for letting me come today.
Wow, thanks for joining us. That's quite an impressive feat, to be sure. We're gonna, I think Chad actually has put out the challenge for members here at the club to do something like that. So we're looking forward to hearing about all those travels. Thank you so much and welcome. And also I'd like to again welcome Dominica. Would you like to say a couple of words, Dominica?
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm a past president of the Rotary Club of Montego Bay, Jamaica. Like Todd, I have spent a lot of time during the pandemic traveling the world virtually. I have visited over 100 clubs worldwide, including Australia, India, Uganda, Nigeria, all around. Mostly English-speaking countries, but I have visited clubs in Haiti as well. I speak French, so that's okay. It's been a great way to make connections with other Rotarians, to learn a lot about Rotary, to hear great speakers, and yeah, it's really been very worthwhile. And it's good to be with you again. I do enjoy your meetings very much. Thank you for having me again.
Vanessa, you're
go ahead.
muted.
Well, my speaker's not working.
We have you.
All right. Oh, it is working again. Anyway, thank you, everybody. Welcome to our meeting today, and I'll pass it back over to Chad. Thank you.
Thanks, Vanessa, and thanks, Dominica, and thank you to, where'd you go? There you go, Todd. Thank you, Todd, for reminding us just how interconnected Rotary is globally. It's truly remarkable when you travel the world, whether virtually or in person, and you realize how connected you are to people in other places without even knowing it. And as Vanessa said, I would like to put out a challenge. Who can ever bring back the most banners over the course of the next year? There will be a nice surprise there. I'd also like to point out some news that just came to me yesterday in terms of Rotary Youth Exchange, which is kind of along these same lines. Starting in July the 1st of 2022, we will be allowed to exchange again. So that is a great piece of news for Rotary, and the Rocky Mountain Rotary Youth Exchange organization with District 5450. We were all doing cartwheels yesterday when we got that news. Also, Lori, thank you for joining us. It's along, when I joined Rotary, Nancy Geyer, she was kind of guiding the museum from where it was to where it is. And it was really great seeing how that happened and seeing that entire transition. So welcome to membership, and thanks for continuing the relationship that Boulder Rotary has with the Museum of Boulder. I also want to mention along those lines, on the 13th of August, we are having Lori as our program, talking about the museum, giving us updates on what's been going on there, and even talking a little bit about the King Super Memorial and what that's going to kind of shape into. I think that's something that everybody here would like to hear about. Following the meeting that night, we are going to have a happy hour on the wonderful rooftop of the museum. We're not quite sure what that's going to look like yet, but Gary Kahn has been fervently working on the logistics there, and we should have some information soon as the brew. So stay tuned. There is some information on the brew on that. I also want to talk about wine to water a little bit. Right now, the price is $65 if you sign up by Saturday, and reach out to Vanessa to get those tickets. After July the 31st, the price goes up to $75 to attend, and that's at Anne Marie Reeder's house up in the mountains. There's going to be tables of wines with pairings of food based on geography. If there are any members out there who are Italy lovers or love the wines of South Africa, right now we are in need of table captains to basically pour wine at those tables and to talk through some of the wines. So if anyone knows Italian wine or South African wines, we do need 2 table captains for that event. A couple of other things I just want to point out. I know that you guys all got an email yesterday about next week's in-person meeting. I'm sorry for screwing up the price on that. It was a miscalculation based on a miscalculation, so I'll spare you the details, but it is $33 for the meeting and not 31. I think the main takeaway here is that it is going to be indicative of some increases in membership fees. These are the costs that were given to us by the JCC and by the Spice of Life. We did shop other caterers just to kind of compare. And, you know, Spice has been our longtime partner, and these are still the best prices that came across our desks and our inboxes. So, you know, unfortunately, that's the reality, is that prices are going to go up, and we are having an emergency board meeting on Monday to go through some of those contracts. It really is the critical #1 issue before the club right now, is figuring out what those contracts are going to look like, and then what is that going to translate to in terms of membership. I also want to mention, in terms of reopening, clearly right now we're in a little bit of a limbo stage with COVID, and I just want to make sure that everyone knows that the board is reviewing that. We are going to consider what the JCC is requiring, and that's traditionally been the more conservative of many organizations around our community. They've been very cautious. So we're considering their recommendations. We're considering our own recommendations, and we're going to consider state and local recommendations as well to come up with a plan that's going to make everyone feel safe. Keep in mind, we are all Rotarians, and that does come with responsibility. We need to be responsible for each other's health and well-being in whatever capacity that might look like. So that's the business part of the agenda here. Now I'd like to go out to Las Vegas, and let's get a membership moment interview with Nancy Chen Wagner.
Thank you, Mr. President Chad. And today's membership moment is with Jean M. Lindicate. Jean, are you there? She's got to unmute. I think I saw her. Jean?
Yep.
Okay, you
I'm
gotta
here.
get closer.
I'm
Thank
here.
you. All right. So Jean's been a member since March of 2001. So she's been a member of the Boulder Rotary Club for 20 years. Her sponsor is Joanne Jocelyn. So Jean grew up in a small town in the middle of Illinois, farm country. She received a BA from Monmouth College in economics, and this was an unusual major for a woman during that time. Her husband, Lauren, likes to tease her by quoting one of the first interviews she attended after college, when a fellow asked her if that was a degree in home economics. And it wasn't, it was regular economics. So Jean met her husband in Chicago, where she was studying at the University of Chicago for his MBA. And when he finished, they married, moved to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, where she worked for a bank managing the management training program and teletraining program. Jean said she can count money very fast. So they subsequently moved to Chicago, where she began working on her own as a tax accountant. And this is where she also started their family. She has 2 children, a daughter and a son. Her daughter lives in Evanston, Illinois, has 2 kids. Her son lives about 5 miles away in Chicago and has 3 kids. And she says, lucky for them, they're the center of gravity in one place, so they can visit both of them. They moved around quite a bit following her husband's career to Georgia, Duluth, Minnesota, Orlando, Florida, and finally landed in Boulder in 1984. Jean began working for Wells Fargo as a tax accountant in the fiduciary tax department. From there, she eventually moved into the fiduciary administration, ending up as a manager of the Boulder Trust Department. She worked in that capacity at 2 other banks until she retired in 2012. In addition to her real job, she continues to work as her own tax accountant. Jean has been asked to join other Rotary clubs, but held out for the best one and joined Boulder Rotary Club in 2001. She also joined at the time because her son-in-law, who worked for Rotary in the Evanston office, got to enter for a prize if he was able to get a new member. Well, he didn't win, but she feels that she's a winner having joined our club. Yay! Jeannie had a great experience as a board member when her term concluded. And in addition to Rotary, her other passion is the AAUW, which is the American Association of University Women, whose mission is to advance the gender equity for women and girls. What a fabulous bio. Okay, Jean, are you ready for my question? Number one.
Yes.
All right. Growing up in your small town in Illinois, what was your favorite pastime and why?
Well, I would have to say my favorite pastime was swimming. My father built an in-ground swimming pool, and it was the only one in town. So we always had a lot of friends and visitors and parties. So that was, I would say, my favorite.
Wonderful. Second question. Did you find it difficult to start your own tax business during that time as a woman?
It really wasn't very difficult to start my own tax business. An offshoot of my econ degree was accounting. And I think accounting has always been a field women could enter easily. But I should mention, I never managed to land a job as an economist. That was a field that wasn't open to women during my day. In my tax business, I prepared fiduciary tax returns, and this led me to working for Wells Fargo in the fiduciary tax department, as she just said. And eventually I moved into trust administration and then to the head of the Boulder Trust Department.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Do you think we're still reaching that ceiling?
I think it's opened up a lot,
Good.
just a lot, but I think there's still a lot of room.
Okay.
A lot of room.
Wonderful. So obviously we are so happy that you waited to join the Best Rotary Club, which is the Boulder Rotary Club.
Right.
So can you tell us how the Rotary motto, service to others, is making an impact in your life?
Well, as was just mentioned, I've been very active for many years in American Association of University Women. And advancing gender equity for women and girls has always been at the forefront, and especially looking at equality in pay. So that's what one of my big points.
Thank you so much. And we have like a minute left. Can I ask you just one more question?
Sure.
Okay. If you were speaking to young people today, what would you tell them about joining a Rotary Club?
Well, goodness, after 20 years, first of all, this Rotary Club has really changed in 20 years, so I would highly encourage anybody to join. Back when I joined, we took attendance, and you had to make sure you were there all the time and sign in, and also there weren't very many women in the group. But now it seems like the women have not taken over, but at least pretty much half and half. So I would say this is a wonderful place to get involved in your community and find a niche where you can help and make many friends.
Wonderful. Thank you so much, Jeannie. And I hope everybody gets a little insight in you being there and always at the registration desk. I remember when I first joined and you were the big smile and saying hello. So we need people like you that's there to welcome us all. Thank you so much. And I thank you, Rotarians, to be able to get a little insight in Jean Lindeke.
Thank you. There's the timer.
That's my timer.
Thank you, Nancy, and thank you, Jean, for all you do for the community. Let's get a little bit more information on some of our members. Dr. George Russell looks like he's live from the barn, so let's see what's going on there at the barn.
Well, we have lots of birthday people today. I'd like to introduce Lynn Johnson, who is celebrating a birthday. Do you have words you want to say, Lynn? Unmute.
Got the right button. Sure. You asked me the other week, but I just gotten back from travel I kind of fumbled at. But yeah, Rotary Club is, I've been a member for 2 years, and just a tremendous positive experience. One of the highlights is your poems, George. So people like you and Michael with a sense of humor that brightens up Friday, and all the positive activities. I've been really happy to be able to work with Alessandro and the other members of the, let's call it the Water Committee, and looking forward to doing more of that. So thanks for the opportunity.
Well, happy birthday to you. We have Jancy Campbell, who having a birthday this month. Yancy?
Yes, I'm here. First of all, I didn't know until this morning that I was really going to be able to attend, because I'm sitting up here in Snowmass with my family, coming from 3 daughters, coming from Minneapolis, Washington, DC, and Texas. I guess what I would like to say most of all is what I love about being a part of this organization is the opportunity to work with such a broad group of people with so many different talents, so many areas of expertise. I just learned from everyone, and this is a very, very special organization. So that is my birthday comment.
Happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
Also, our president's birthday is this month, Chad Stam. Do you have anything you want to say, Chad?
I really don't. Happy birthday
Okay.
to all my fellow Leos out there.
All right. Well, as a gift to all the people having a birthday, you get my new CD, which just came out today. So happy birthday, everyone. It has the poems and songs.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
very much.
And, you know, as was mentioned, thanks for keeping us laughing. Laughing does make you live longer. So thanks for all the chuckles through the years.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Next, I'm going to turn this kind of cowboy related, but I know that the 3 amigos of Mike, Cassidy, and Fred have put together a special edition of the brew. So Fred, if we could go to the videotape.
Hello, Boulder Rotarians and guests. We want to start with an update on polio because it has continued good news. Since the 1980s, it has been a global effort. We have gone from over 350 to 400,000 cases every year to, in 2019, 176 cases. Last year, 2020, 140 cases. And so far in 2021, we have only 2 cases. 1 case in Pakistan, 1 case in Afghanistan, and the last reported cases were in January of this year. So we are 6 months without a reported case. So once again, 140 cases in 2020, only 2 cases this year. This could be the year. End polio now. Boulder Rotarians, Rotarians worldwide, you have made a difference. You deserve the gold medal. Every year, the Boulder Rotary Club sponsors the annual Jim Swaby Peace Award. Jim was a long-term member of our club who passed away a few years ago, but he is still beloved. This award commemorates the contribution of Jim, who gave of his time, talent, humor, and passion to build a better world. You are invited to nominate a candidate for the Jim Swaby Peace Award. The deadline for the nominations is August 31st, next month. The criteria and application form, Sam Pottinger. His information's up on the screen.
District 5450 has some great events coming up that you may not want to miss, and they're via Zoom, so you can attend. The first is mindfulness and reflective, empathetic action. Ooh, that's hard to say.
So if they say it 5 times, do they get in for free?
It's free already, sorry. It is, in fact, August 5th, 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. on Zoom. It's presented by the Peace Committee. On August 10th, 7 to 8 p.m. is Rotary 101. You don't want to miss this. The district trainers are giving it, and one of the district trainers is our own Michael McHale. You can find out more by emailing office@rotary5450.org.
Cool.
Hey, don't miss our exciting program on August 13th. It is Boulder Museum Day at Boulder Rotary Club. Our special guest speaker will be Lori Preston, the Executive Director of Boulder's amazing museum.
And what's exciting is that same day at 5:30 p.m. to 7:30 at the Museum of Boulder, an exclusive Boulder Rotary Club happy hour and reception. It will be on the museum's beautiful outdoor deck, and we have the opportunity to tour the museum's fascinating exhibits. It will be music and fun with fellow Rotarians.
Don't miss it. Here's what's happening next week. BRC is back at the JCC August 6th. The doors open at 12 noon. The meeting starts at 12:30. It's in person and on Zoom. The executive director of Boulder's JCC, Jonathan Love, is going to talk to us about the amazing community that is JCC. You'll learn some lessons about how they got through the pandemic. We might even hear about the milk and honey farm and all the amazing programs they have at the JCC. Don't miss it. Everybody make sure and say happy birthday to our president, Chad Stam.
That's it for this week's update. I know you're all muted, which is why we all have to say it really loud. All together now. Have a great weekend.
Thanks so much to the three amigos. In retrospect, with Daryl not around, it would have been a great weekend to take a shot at him. I'm surprised you guys missed out on that occasion, but I'm sure there will be some coming in the future. Now I'd like to kind of roll the credits today. Thank Bill Meyer for being the past president greeter. Thanks to Hank for the pledge and the 4-way test. Thank you, Vanessa, for doing the guest and visitor introductions. Thanks, Chip, for your amazing presentation. Thanks to Mike Cassidy and Bill Anderson for managing the chat and the Q&A. Thank you, Susan, for responding. Thanks, Nancy, for the wonderful interview again. Thank you, Dr. George Russell, for the birthdays. And then the three amigos, great job again on the brew. With that being said, that's all we got. Have a great weekend, everyone. Meeting adjourned. There's a bell somewhere. There we go.